Greetings and welcome to another impressions video here at Words About Games, and today we're going to be looking at Neon Abyss. Neon Abyss is a 2D action platforming roguelike built around experimentation, chaos and frantic combat. The game casts you as a member of Grim Squad, an elite crew put together by Hades to furiously run and gun their way through the Abyss, an ever-changing dungeon full of all sorts of monsters with the sole aim of finding and killing the new gods. Interesting plotline, right? I pulled it straight from the Steam store page. I've no idea if the premise of the game has ever even come up during play. If it did, it's been blown out of my mind by the neon-infused explosive action Neon Abyss delivers. This isn't a game about following a story, uncovering a vast and interesting lore, or even really caring about the opponents that stand in your way. Neon Abyss is a game about running through dungeons and causing as much carnage as you possibly can, making sure not to get killed in the process. The game follows the fairly standard roguelike template. You dive face first into whatever gauntlet awaits you, eventually dying, before being reborn back at the beginning, in this case a dance club complete with thumping music, to spend your hard-earned currency on permanent upgrades before doing the whole thing over again, hopefully making a little more progress the next time. Except the permanent upgrades don't necessarily make your character stronger. Spending the currency you earn by defeating the game's many bosses feeds into what the game calls its dungeon evolution system. You buy items that you can then find on any given run, but you also buy new rooms, bosses, special rooms, and more that you can encounter on your travels. It's a really neat system that helps keep exploration feeling fresh. Instead of just upgrading your character and running through the same rooms in a different configuration, you can unlock, say, vending machines to pump your hard-earned coins into, in the hopes of acquiring a critically required item. Or even entirely new rooms, like the piano room, a jumping puzzle where you play a piano by jumping on the correct keys in time with the tune. Or you can go fishing or stop off for a dancing competition. In your exploration, you'll find a lot of stuff. Eggs are a big one, which follow you around and hatch once you've killed enough enemies, sometimes into pets that follow you around and help you in their own unique ways, by scooping up coins, attacking enemies for you, or even blocking projectiles, including your own. So good luck if you're firing explosive projectiles and you have a rock floating around you because you just activated hard mode. Items such as crystals, keys, or bombs are used to unlock doors and chests to help you gain more powerful items, ones that grant you buffs or other special abilities that can completely alter your playstyle or turn your entire run around. Item abilities can range from fairly mundane stuff like giving you extra health or weapon damage, up to letting you jump more or even fly, to being more complicated, like giving you damage boosts depending on your health level or making your projectiles explode on contact. There are a huge variety of items for you to collect in any given run, and one of Neon Abyss's best features is that it lets you pick up as many as you want. Unlimited item synergies let you keep stacking new abilities or buffs on top of each other ad infinitum, letting you just get more and more absurdly powerful the further into the abyss you travel. Neon Abyss isn't too fussed about letting you become overpowered. In fact, that's the sign of a successful run. Just compare these two bits of footage. The first taken at the beginning of my last run, when I was a single jumping weakling with a starter weapon. The latter taken from the end boss fight of that run, when I was a flying demon spawn raining down apocalyptic destruction from above with an army of pets and a shotgun-like weapon spewing a dozen gigantic bullets with a single pull of the trigger. I was so unstoppable, I didn't even learn the attack patterns of the boss. I just flew around and unleashed hell until I won. It is worth noting that most runs aren't like that, but the most fun ones are. In most runs you'll balance your bombs and such, trying to get maximum payout for using them, while running with a moderate suite of abilities that give you a fighting chance in the abyss. It's even a bit frustrating, as you tend to have to leave a lot of loot behind you due to a lack of bombs or keys to grab it. But every now and then, the RNG gods favour you with a few key items, and suddenly you become all-powerful. As with the items, there's a big variety of different guns you can find. You'll quickly have your favourites, such as my personal favourite, the 8th Secret, a wizard's gun that fires a mixture of projectiles. Truth be told, most of the guns I've encountered have been fun enough to use, and I've gotten quite far with a lot of different ones. Even the starter weapon can be a beast with the right combination of items and abilities. And the combat feels pretty fluid. It's fast-paced, and the incredibly varied enemies you'll encounter all have recognisable attack patterns to make for engaging bouts of violence. It's fairly readable in the early going, but more often than not, later levels, if you make it that far, can become a bit of a nightmare of audio-visual overload. Projectiles flying in all directions, an impractical line of pets following behind you, and a mountain of flashing colours and explosions can leave you with little clue as to what's actually happening on screen. Usually, that's a sign that I'm winning. Usually. Neon Abyss is a heckin' good time, thanks to the game not really giving much care to whether its unlimited item synergies make you more powerful than the gods you've been sent to destroy. Most runs are more modest than that, and in those runs this is still a solidly good roguelike, thanks to fun gameplay and item variety and engaging combat against diverse enemies. But personally, I live for those OP runs. Like the game is letting me get away with putting cheat codes on and just going to town on everything in my path. Thanks very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it or found it useful, consider sticking around here at Words About Games. Our content includes review impressions of games big and small, a weekly podcast dedicated to discussing the happenings in and around the games industry, weekly opinion videos, reactions, debate-driven top 5 and top 10 lists, a regular Hall of Fame series where we discuss our favourite games, and indie game spotlights. We also stream every Friday and Saturday at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. Most importantly, have a brilliant day.